Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give you all a chance to log in.
I'm going to get out of some of this so I'm not confused.
Okay. We'll see who pops in and we'll see if it hits the village. And you may see that before me.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's hitting the YouTube village?
Don't want to do anything on that right there because
Okay.
I want to see
Yep.
why it's doing that.
All right. And I'm going to just open another browser because I know my restream won't disconnect on me.
Well, it's showing that you're live on your channel.
Yes.
And then.
But I don't think I'm live on the village.
That was loud. Strangest thing. But yeah. Okay. So, guys, here's the thing. This has been just a mess. And so
Millie's here. Okay, Millie popped in. I'm just sorry, Mish. Mish, I wanted to see if, and I don't see it on the village. Do you see it on the village?
No, it's not on here.
Okay. All right. So
I'm going to take it as a sign.
Yes. I'm going to take it as a sign too. But let's give some folks a chance to pop in. Millie, happy Sunday, happy Easter, happy Passover, happy just glorious day wherever you are. I hope the weather is beautiful. We were on the village and we got disconnected. And
technology.
Yes. With Misha from Awakened by the Looking Glass, who was helping coordinate this. And for some reason, we got kicked out. Hey, Josh. Hi. So I'm waiting.
And it's just so weird because, I mean, we've done 1,000,001 meets. And so I think truly this is just, it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know how to send a message to the people of the village. I'm back, John. Thank you.
That I've got handled.
All right. So John did find us.
Yep. Our John. Is that our John?
Yes, it's our John.
Awesome.
It's the ex-hockey town.
The Hunky Town, otherwise known as Hunky Town, otherwise known as the man with the velvet voice.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You could be on radio. Thanks, Seventh. I'm sorry. I know it dropped off the village. So
yeah, I had a lot of people letting me know too, which is good.
Oh, good. All right. Because so for those of you joining, obviously, this is a coordinated event today so that people that were alone for Easter or the holiday weren't going to be alone. You could just pop on and listen to us ramble for the day. And there's a whole bunch of other creators that will be talking today. And so for my shift, we were going to do this through Google Meet, and it was connected to the village. And then I'm going to let Mish take it from here.
There's actually, let me go ahead and try to get this on here because I want it to be able to be going to yours.
Okay. All right. So I'll just keep talking then.
And I cannot multitask today.
No, don't. You're supposed to be sleeping. So for those of you that don't know, Mish put this together at the drop of a hat. So she's been up since midnight trying to get all of us going. And for some reason, technology in my neck of the woods kicked us out of Google Meet and the connection to the village. So I semi-panicked and decided I'd do restream and just get in here. And I'm thrilled anyway that some of you have found me, and hopefully some of the others will find their way back. But the purpose for today really is, I was talking about my memories of Easter, and I was talking about just sort of the happiness that it brought me many years ago. And as time went on, hey, Lucy, welcome. Or Lucky Stone 888. Happy Easter, rejoice. Brian, you found us.
Mhm.
Brian and I were in the middle. I think he had said something. I was like, boop, he's gone. So it's really just an opportunity, just that you're not alone for a little while. And we have shifts. Right now, I'm on the 12 p.m. Eastern to 1, probably 2, some 1.5, because there wasn't any other fillers. And I'm not sure if, and I think I might be able to share through Restream. Um, Mish has a video that we could play to
Yes.
sort of fill that time. I just don't know if it'll work through Restream. Um, and
No, I don't think, because I don't want to take a chance with your channel,
yeah, okay. So
but
we might
we'll have
just,
that.
yeah, somebody else may pop on, or maybe Ben or something. I don't know, but or maybe John, or somebody's going to want to talk for an hour just for giggles. Oh, and I think you said that Crystal won't be on, right?
Right. Yeah.
So there's a whole afternoon that might get bumped, and I love all of you, but I can't do all afternoon.
You weren't even supposed to, you didn't have to do it at all. And you were stepping up. And so, I mean, it is a beautiful thing. And we love everybody in our community, but we also have to love everybody in our community. And personally, I am going through not having muchness at all.
Yeah,
And to practice self care, I'm wanting to step down and lie down.
yep,
And
yep,
sometimes we will do everything we can for each other, but we have to make sure that we
yeah,
can do it.
yep,
And hopefully, this is just a lesson, at least for me.
yeah,
We have to be able to do things. And if we can't, stop putting ourselves out there.
yeah. Hey, Mish, Brian Lucas from A Poet, he has a playlist he wants to play on the Village. So after me,
Right
he could,
on.
so Bri, if you he's got plenty of music, he said he could fill some time. So I don't know how we can set him up for success so that he could
I
do
do.
it. Okay.
Bri, I will message you here as soon as I get this off and running. I will message you and we'll get it set up.
So that way Bri can kick off at, in a little bit.
Yeah,
And
that's perfect.
I don't mind staying on until 1:15 or 1:30, or if Bri, you're ready at 1 o'clock, that's fine. And 1 o'clock Eastern. So I have to keep saying that because I know so many of you are Central and Pacific and Mountain. I don't know that many East Coasters, but so yeah, I'm happy to um, share that with Bry, so that way he can share his music. Because let me tell you something, he's a little early for me in the morning, guys. But if you have an opportunity to catch Brian in the morning, he takes his own poetry and he puts it to music. He does other people's poems, don't get me wrong, but his songs, when he
No,
puts
he's
them
an
to music,
amazing poet himself.
so good. I just, if I don't get to sleep until 5:30 in the morning, I cannot get up for 7:30. Even
Yeah.
if my alarm goes off, which it does, I just look at it and I'm like, I love you, alarm, and I roll over. And the puppies
Yeah.
roll over with me.
That's another reason I'm deciding that I'm not, because I don't know if I'll be able to wake up. And so that's what I want to say is just pretty much what we're doing as far as the village is I will make it available through Brian,
Yep.
but we're going to have this link open. And if somebody wants to come on, they can come
Yeah.
on.
Great.
But if they don't want to, don't worry about it. We're not going to stress. Easter is not as, it's not the same as what some of the other holidays are. And most of the time, the festivities are over with by around the time that it's going to end, anyways.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
we have a beautiful community, and you
That
guys
we
have
do.
proved it. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. And I'm sorry that certain things didn't fall out the way that they needed to, but we're going to move forward.
Yeah.
And so I love all of y'all. I'm out. Brian, I'll be
Yes.
sending you a message. Teresa.
Yep.
Mm,
Mwah.
thank you,
Thank
darling.
you, Mish. Go get some rest, and love you, babe.
Yes, ma'am. I love you too.
All right. So, Lucky, I see that you are in Massachusetts, as am I, Western Mass. Okay, I did have my Easter bonnet on, so I might as well just share it with you guys that are joining. It's not really an Easter bonnet, it's my garden hat. I thought it looked terrible, but I'm just going to put it on in the spirit for a second. All right, now it comes off. It's meant to cover the face when I'm in the garden. Um, hey, Victor, thank you for being here. Happy Easter. Come here, puppy. Come say hello. Come say hello. Um, so again, for those of you joining that are, oh, Millie's East Coast, New Jersey. I had family in Elizabeth, New Jersey for the longest time. And when I was a girl, Millie, we used to go to, oh, the beach. Oh my gosh, it was at the very tip. What was it called? Oh, I wish my brother was on the chat. Um, I don't remember, but it was so wonderful. Um, no, I don't live in Florida. I'm in Massachusetts. Are you kidding? If I lived in Florida, do you think I would look like this pale? Are you kidding? As much as I love my sunscreen and I love to take care of the skin, I would have some color, brother. I am pasty white. Um, and I sat out in the sun meditating the other day because it was a balmy 75-ish degrees and there was a gentle breeze. And I had broken out my little chair, beach chair, and I'm sitting out there and the dogs are both in my lap and the sun is on my face. And I was just like, I'm going to meditate. And then my puppy decided, no, I must clean your face. So there was no rest for the weary. Oh, Worcester, we're neighbors, basically. Yes, I live in Amherst area, Palmer, if that makes any means anything to you. I used to live in Boston for many, 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 many years. And then I was outpriced out of Boston, really outpriced out of Boston. And there are days where I'm like, oh, the one thing about living in a city, and for those of you that are in cities, you can, even if you're alone, you can still walk in the city and look at the stores and look at the people. And there's a lot of good people watching. Come on, pup. Come on. Come say hello. Come say hello. And come here, Lulu. This is my Luca. This is my Luca. He's got his bones, so he really doesn't give a hoot about anybody else. Biscotti is eyeing him from his other chair at the ottoman by the window. But I just loved the vibration of a city and the people watching. And I would sit in the park by the Charles River, and you had music playing. I could read my books. Sometimes there were different scents in the air, smells, different. It's also, the best thing about cities and the worst thing about cities. They can be crowded with lots of people, right? And yet you get to experiment with different foods that you never would have tried before. And living outside of the city, there's 3 or 4 pizza joints near me. Not one is Italian pizza. I hate the crusts. So it's like I don't even enjoy pizza locally. If I want good Italian pizza, I'll probably have to go to Worcester, which is an hour away from where I live. So not worth it for me. And I can make my own, but it's sometimes you just want a good slice of pizza. And I love Thai food, and there's no Thai restaurant local. Everything that you want to eat is, a good distance away. So thank you, Victor. I love my puppies. Millie says when she thinks of Mass, she thinks of Dar Williams, or do you just mean Williams all the way out in Western Mass? I'm not sure. And then she said her parents first lived in Elizabeth, one of her daughter's middle name. Yep, beautiful. The Berkshires, for those of you that have never been to Massachusetts, the Berkshires have this wonderful retreat center, Kripalu. And it's a huge meditation yoga place. And all the meals are in silence. no talking. And the food's all, well, it was all vegetarian. I'm going to assume it still is. I haven't been in a long time, but it's kind of dormitory style. So you have your own room with a little bit of a sink in there, and then there's lots of bathrooms in the hall, shared bathrooms. Um, Cement walls, like everything's cemented. I forget what it used to be, but their meditations, their conference rooms, for lack of a better word, their drum circles, they have what do you call a maze? It's like a maze, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's a maze that you walk through for meditation purposes. Amazing. Then there's this more Eastern like part in the woods where they have all these different flags and different benches. And there's a whole theme. I don't remember what it was. I only went there to journal. Um, but it was literally under the canopy of these trees. Most everyone was very loving, very, we're all there for the same reason. And I went to this seminar called Open Heart. And it really was for people to heal things and to get into touch with their labyrinth. Thank you, Crystal. Ding, ding, ding. And the labyrinth, yes, Victor, there's nothing more magical to me than a labyrinth. And you can do labyrinths, for those of you that are at all interested, in many ways. You could use pavers in your own home if you have a yard. You can use plants so that you walk around in a circle. This was a combination of stones and plants and trees. And when it was in full bloom in the summer, literally magical. The butterflies and the bees didn't care about me. They cared about the nectar from the flowers. It was just really and truly meditative, and you would walk it and walk it. Um, for me, that I find just so soothing and so comforting and really relaxing. So, uh, really, it's just magical. Um, and so, the Berkshires, if you ever have an opportunity, look them up, Kripalu. They have weekend retreats for all sorts of different things. And they have great guest speakers. And they have great therapeutic treatments as well. A lot of Ayurvedic. Um, and um, I just really enjoyed the meditative part when I go through healing journeys. And back then, the way that I would describe where I was is I was in this bird cage wrapped with barbed wire. So even if you opened up the door, I was too afraid to fly out. By the time I ended that weekend, I literally physically felt 50 pounds lighter. Like spiritually, I had gotten rid of a lot of gunk off my soul. So I know we sort of got off track, but if you ever have the funds and need a real retreat, the food alone, the first time I went, I was with one of my best friends, and she and I, you know, we love our hamburgers, and it was our first night, and she's like, "We have to find a place. We have to go get a burger. I have to eat a burger." So we ended up going off campus, but then after that, it was all really delightful, interesting food that I wish that I had picked up on making and cooking from that point. A couple of years ago, I went to Sedona on another retreat, and it was all vegetarian. And it really sparked in me that desire because there wasn't one thing I didn't enjoy. And a lot of, vegetarian food, it's really about the seasoning. And I think that's true of anything, right? You can season rice, you can season veggies, you can make things taste delicious. And then there's some textures that didn't jive with me. You don't need them. So I just, for me, it's magical. And when I was growing up, my family was in a very remote place in New York, and in the behind our property, I don't even know if it was our property, to be honest, but I'm going to say I think it was our property. But to get there, there was a wooded path that was really overgrown, and you walked and you walked and you walked. Then there was this magical, I'm going to call it a river. And in the middle of the river was a land, piece of land, and it went for a long ways. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be just amazing to have a home back there with the water that was circling around this landlocked area? um, you heard birds that you didn't hear when you left the woods, you know? And it just really was, it was magical. You didn't realize that you were in a poor town when you were there. I felt really rich. Um, so Josh says there's a labyrinth down the road near the mountain next to an amazing stream. Oh my God, I so want to be there. Um, And Lucky says, I can't handle spicy. So most of my wife's delicacies are out of my league. She calls me crocodile tongue. So I don't like hot, spicy food either. Flavors are flavors, and there are other things that you can use. And after I had my first heart event, um, I was introduced to Mrs. Dash because they didn't want you using salt, although my first heart attack had nothing to do with cholesterol or high blood pressure, but they didn't want me consuming a lot of salt. So I learned to cook without salt, but I was like, well, salt adds a lot of good flavor. Mrs. Dash has been my go-to because it takes all of these herbs and puts it together in this one jar. Yes, I can do it myself, but they marinate together in this jar. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of flavor. I do that with my eggs. I do it with my tuna. I do it with my swordfish. I do it with anything and it's got a little bit of a red pepper kick sometimes. And I'm learning to use turmeric now in foods that I hadn't before. Um, but other spices I just can't do. No cayennes for me. Cumin's just not a scent that works for me, but I totally get you. What did Victor say? Oh, he's just commenting. Yes, the Berkshires have so much to offer. Um, when I was considering my next move, I really wanted to get closer to the Berkshires, but I might as well go to Boston because the rents are just, there's less property to rent out in the Berkshires. And because it is such a tourist place, I'm outpriced. Um, and so, and even some of the surrounding towns, they're not within my limited budget. But if I could, I would. And then on the other side of that border of the Berkshires is New York. Um, and my brother's about 2 hours from that border. So I still have to move closer to him if I was going to make that big leap. Um, yeah, just people love spice. I didn't grow up on spice. And but one of my brothers, well, actually, I think both my brothers now, they have ventured into eating many different kinds of foods with different spices. Um, when I was after college and I was working for this tech company, and I had some friends, and we went to eat Ethiopian food, and it was very exotic. And I guess it's communal eating, right? There's a big platter with different types of food, almost like tapas in a way, but you eat with your hands and you eat, different scented and spiced foods. But I didn't think there was anything there that I couldn't take as far as the texture or the spiciness. But you give me some Indian food and I'm on fire and can't do it. So can't even smell it at this point anymore. Um, I many years ago went out on a date and I was taken for sushi. And I said, I can't eat anything that's spicy. Well, apparently he didn't like me very much because he introduced me to the green stuff. And when I tell you that I had no control. The heat was pouring off my face. Tears were running down my face. Let's just say I never went out with him again. But yes, people really do love spicy, spicy. Um, my Lucky says, yes, it's crazy. My friends eat my wife's food, but I can't. Well, look, it I'm with you, brother. Um, there are certain things you just can't take. Um, I made for last night and today, I just got myself a very small ham steak. I had to wash off all the salt because it was too salty and forgot that I didn't have any molasses. So I sprinkled it with a little bit of brown sugar and pineapple. Oh my God, so delicious. But I'm on the sweeter side of flavor. I have some family members that don't like any sweet in their food. So, it's all taste. And I'm the kind of girl that's happiest when it's sweeter. Um, and I know, puppy, I know. I love you too. Thank you for participating in the show today. Oh, you can't see him, but he's looking up at me lovingly with those loving eyes. Look at her face. Um, so anyway, um, and so what are you all doing today? Even if it's not a holiday for you, is it nice outside? Is it walkable? I don't know what the temperature's like in Worcester, but here it is darn chilly. I mean, it may have warmed up since since this morning. I've been trying to figure all this stuff out so we can participate today. And I'm sorry that, I lost some of the folks from the village, and hope that they, can find their connection with Brian. And I was talking about from a poet, Brian Lucas, if you don't know him. He is a poet and he takes his poetry and puts it to music, and it's really lovely. All sorts of different tunes. So if you ever are up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, I don't know what it's like in other places, but he's got a great channel. I just can't always get up that early. Even today, um, it was warm outside yesterday, so my home was really warm, and then I was all congested. So I was up until about 5:30 this morning until I could get a fresh breath of fresh air, and then I fell dead asleep. And Mish said, "Hey, you want to hop on today and support people that have nowhere to go for Easter?" So it's a lovely community that we have, and this was a delight for me. And after this, I'm taking the pups. We're going for a really nice long walk, and then I take the dogs to visit my 94-year-old neighbor who's by herself. Her daughter does not live local, and it's not easy. And being a daughter, my father's several hours away. I can't go visit him either. Um, so, um, well, I shouldn't say I can't go visit him. I'm having some car trouble. So I don't trust my car on the highway. It's that whole putting your foot on the gas pedal and then having the whole dashboard light up and die. And then I have to dance the car over the edge to the side of the road. Don't want to do that on a highway. Um, and yeah, so I was saying that I had lived in Boston for many years. I never had a car. I didn't start driving till I was 40. So, I mean, I had my license and I rented a car on occasion, but I did not drive on a regular basis till I was 40. Um, and the only reason I had gotten a car and started to drive, uh, this is a little, I had a stalker. So when I was on the bus, the stalker would find me on my various forms of commuting. So I had to get a car and drive different ways to get to my job, so that this person didn't follow me anymore. But then I left Boston, kept my job in Boston, but moved out of the city and needed a car. So, but any day of the week, if I could be back towards a city where I didn't have to drive every day, 2 thumbs up. The only reason I need a car is to go to the grocery store and carry packages. Otherwise, I would be very happy taking buses and subways, and walking. I mean, God, I was fit in the city. Um, Millie says turmeric is awesome. I also love oregano. Yep, that's Italian for me. So yes, oregano is pretty much in everything. Um, Peruvian cooking, Millie. I don't even know what that is. So that's something I'll look up. Um, uh, that would be a fun day, like a fun show to do, the various foods that people eat on our channel. Like one dish that you think could add to somebody else's meal. Um, I love learning about different cultures and the different foods. It's why I never understand why people have, I don't know if prejudice is the right word, but how can you not love somebody who comes from another country and brings food with them and consider you want their food, but you don't want the people? Well, the food comes from the people. And when you love the history and the flavors of your food, that usually emanates from people. Um, I don't know. It's just one of those funny things. Um, I went to visit a girlfriend and her husband in Amsterdam many years ago. And Amsterdam's not known for its culinary delights, but there were a few things that were really good. And from Amsterdam, my friend and I took a train to Germany. Now, Germany's food is rich and heavy, and I love it. I mean, it's got limited flavors, I would say, from what I experienced, but I love those flavors. Um, and my uncle married a German woman, my Auntie Tilly, and you'd go to her house and literally she could have made dog food taste delicious. She just flavored up her food. It was amazing. Um, didn't have a lot of exposure to French food except for, restaurants in America that made a variation of French food. Um, I think that, have I ever been to a French restaurant? I don't know if I've been to a French restaurant, to be honest with you, but I'm going to say no if I have to think about it. But for years, I hadn't been exposed to Asian cooking. And most of the flavors of Asian cooking, I just adore. It's wonderful. So, except for the green little spicy stuff that sets you on fire. Um, so, what are you guys doing today? Is anybody cooking? Is anybody hanging out with friends or family? Is anybody going out and about in the day? What are you all doing today? And then I'll let y'all go because I think they're going to kick off another series. I don't think Brian's still here. So my guess is he probably is on this other channel, which is hosting everybody. So I'm just curious, what you're doing for today. And um, hopefully you're with people that you love or at least like a lot. I mean, that's where you all come in for me. Um, and when I take the dogs to go visit my 94-year-old neighbor, I'll bring some chocolate. And I had left her a huge bag of dog treats for my dogs. So I break them up and I hand them to her. My little Luca, um, he's very intuitive. I'm sorry, the dog is, and he knows that she needs love. And he gets up on his little hind legs and he stretches and he gives her kisses all over her cheeks. And you would think that was the most delightful thing that has ever happened to her. So she really enjoys it. And, I can stay for 10 minutes and it makes her happy. Um, and then she kibitzes on the phone with all of the people that remain. That's the interesting thing, right? Um, they're talking about, I mentioned Jason Shirka the other day. He has his own channel, Jason Shirka. He also has Unified TV and Unified Healing. And one of the things that some of the people that are talking about on his channel is living longer. And that as we evolve our vibrations and this energy, there's nothing really stopping us from living a really long life. That in theory, 80 years is not long enough. Now, don't take this the wrong way, people. I've been alone a long time. I don't want to get to 80 and then know I'm going to live another 20 or 30 years living alone and being alone. Not going to happen. That to me is not, my idea of old age. And unless you can sort of stick me in an incubator and sort of revive some of my ailing body parts, I don't really want to be decrepit in my old age. So but the idea that our children's children or our grandchildren or our nieces and nephews can live for an extended period of time, that's amazing to me. And if the world is a different place and more communal, I know that probably is going to freak some people out. And I don't know how to explain that we are more willing to ensure that our neighbors and our friends and our family, our community are going to survive well. We're going to eat well. We're going to regenerate the earth together. Um, those are all things that for me, that's what I mean by communal. Um, I think there's a misnomer of, oh, so hang on, sorry, I'm just going to stop a second. Josh is working at the Crystal Shop and door dashing. Mid 60s in Worcester, 64 where Josh is. Oh, thanks, Josh. There is a solution to my car, by the way. My aunt and uncle are gifting me their car, and I'm going to sell my car. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to call the dealership and see if they'll buy my car for the remaining balance of my loan. Probably not, but um, let's see. Lucky says his wife went to Buddhist temple with friends. Oh, nice. Oh, he pulled his back out, so he's sitting in La. I know how to say this word, Laotian temple. I'm not saying it right. Um, we went to a Thai temple last week. Wow. All right. You're going to have to let me know in the comments afterwards where the heck some of these places are so that I can go and take a gander. Peruvian is the top gastronomy destinations in the world. Many years in a row, hidden treasure. Oh, I don't doubt it. Cooking right now. Nice, Millie. I won't keep you guys. Got to go for dinner. Have a nice day. Okay, Victor left. Bye, Victor. Thank you for popping in. I'm going to pop off anyway in a few minutes. Waiting for girls to do our egg hunt. Oh, how much fun is that? I think that's one of the things that I miss, that I wish that there were some little ones near me that I could have fun with, the eggs, Easter eggs. I do have some neighbors next door, but they have different people that they associate with and their own community, and that makes total sense. And my nieces are all much older now, and my niece's kids, again, they're in Rhode Island, so again, not right around the corner. And they celebrate with their family. Uh, it's people have to live their lives, and I don't have a lot in common when it comes to children, and they want to be with their small community of other moms and dads and kids. I get that, but that's not my joy. And it is too far, and I don't go anywhere without the puppies. So if the puppies aren't invited, then I'm not invited. You know what I mean? So I don't want to keep you guys. I popped on so that I could just wish you all a beautiful, glorious, loving, healing, adventurous, giddy day. thank you all so much for being here. Enjoy it. And I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm going to create an event. I forget what I'm talking about on Tuesday, but I'm sure it'll be a lively discussion. Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Let Them theory, the next series of chapters. And then after that, I can't even believe I'm about to say it, but it's going to be May. May, I'm going to be talking about tapping, how that can help relieve some tensions. Um, I hope to have some of my fellow creators on as guests. So it's going to be hopefully a very lively month. So I'll be reaching out to a couple of you. Josh is one of those people. Millie's one of those people. Victor's one of those people. Lucky I don't know you, but I'd love to get to know you. I think someone said you have a channel, so I have to go in and become a sleuth and find that. The rest of you that have been here, thank you so very much. John was here. Thank you for being here. Crystal, thank you for being here. And I think Brian dropped off. Seventh was here. Thank you, Seventh, for being here. So everybody else, thank you so much. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Many blessings, healing, love, joy, laughter. And until Tuesday, may you be blessed. Bye, guys. No fancy ending today.